Before we get started, I want to talk to you quickly about a basic set of tools that you'll need for this project. So, first of all, a standard skill saw, either worm drive or just your regular skill saw. You're going to need a drywall knife, affectionately known as the DWK. Here we have an adjustable square. That's important. Naturally, you're going to need a pencil to mark this off, or a pen, a screw gun with a rechargeable battery, your standard 12 to 16 foot tape measure, and then of course safety equipment. You want goggles and earmuffs. One thing I'd like to just show you, and I'll drag it into the screen here, is a jig. And I'm going to show you, we'll pan out later and I'll just show you this in action. It's something I recommend you build because you've got some long cuts you're going to need to make, and this piece of equipment is going to make it wonderful. It's worth the time and effort. I want to talk about the scope of the project. If we're using a 2.5 inch hose, which really calculates out when it's laying flat to 4 5/8 inches, today we're going to talk about building a hose flag for that dimension. The final dimensions are going to end up being 5 foot and 1/8 inch by 9 foot and 3/4 inches. So all of this is based off of a calculation down that you'll see here. And this is essentially how you make an American flag. So what you do is we'll take the inches of the hose, which is 4 5/8 inches. We multiply the width times 13, which is the stripes, and that gives us the height of the hose. If you know the height of the hose, you take the height times 1.9, and that gives you the length of the hose. So all things being based off 4 inches or 4 5/8 inches, I come up to the final dimension of 5 foot 1/8 inch by 9 foot 3/4 inch. So we're going to build a flag that's actually 1 inch extra on both length and width. And why am I doing that? Because there's a lot of inconsistencies with lumber. So we're going to build it a little bit large, and then we're going to cut a 1/2 inch off of each side. That'll give us a nice clean edge to build our frame to. And so again, we'll build large, which is our rough dimension, and then we'll cut it back to our final dimension, which in fact will then match our 4 5/8 inch hose. When getting started, you're going to need 2 pieces of 15 by 32 inches of OSB, and that'll be in your materials list. The first sheet is going to be the full sheet, 4 foot by 8 foot. You're then going to cut 2 more pieces to make the entire rough dimension of the project. The first piece is the full length, which is 8 foot, and its width is going to be 1 foot 1 1/8 inch wide. The second piece you're making is going to be the width of the flag. The width of the flag, lengthwise, is 5 foot 1 1/8 inch. And the width of this piece is going to be 1 foot 1 3/4 inches. So again, 1 foot 1 3/4 by 5 1 1/8. And this piece is 8 foot by 1 foot 1 1/8. Again, these dimensions will be in the PDF. So cut your pieces and get them assembled as you see here. The full sheet, this piece next to it, and then of course the cap. And then we'll get started on screwing and gluing this thing together. To orient you, what you're looking at is the back of the flag. So these 3 intersections, when put up on the wall, are actually the bottom right-hand corner of the flag as you would look at it up on the wall.